Of the House of Lords, Lord Maginnis, has told Drive Time she's frustrated no conclusion to the disciplinary process has been made. The SNP's Hannah Bardell and Labour MP Luke Pollard and Toby Perkins have all made complaints about Lord Maginnis. Over a year ago, the House of Lords, Conduct Committee ordered the Lord to take behaviour training or face a longer suspension from the Lords. But now reports in the Belfast Telegraph claim that Lord has said he's no intention of taking part in behavioural training as part of his Westminster suspension because it's a brainwashing exercise and he will not return to the House of Lords. Drive Time contacted Lord Maginnis to check if this is indeed the case. He didn't respond. Ms Bardell told us she thinks he continues to attack the process.
Things had sort of quietened down a bit because he hadn't been in the press, but after the initial incident, there were death threats made and there was obviously a lot of press attention around it and a lot of people contacting me and approaching me who'd been abused by him, including staff, and quite regularly staff will ask me what's happening, privately and quietly, but a lot of them have experienced abuse from him over many years. And understandably, they're concerned, as am I, about him returning to the Lords. So, there's a lot of questions to be answered here. And I think, my plan is to write to the Commissioner and say, look, how long is this going to go on for? Is it really reasonable to leave it another 6 or 7 months when he continues to say he doesn't plan to engage? Continues to blame his behaviour on other people. I don't think that's acceptable. I can't think of any other employment where somebody would be able to behave like this and given such a long period of time to engage with the process. I'm at a loss to think where that would ever be appropriate.
And what's your understanding of why there is this length of time?
I mean, that is what the Commissioner and the committee decided. I mean, we've got to remember, in fairness to them, they have worked, incredibly hard and put a huge amount of time, into this investigation, and the publication is there for anybody to see. I was certainly by no means the only person that was involved in this and who had received abuse from him, and it makes pretty shocking reading. But it is the first time this has ever happened. So these processes have been put in place, in the last few years to tackle the toxic and abusive culture that is in Westminster. So it's the first time, actually, that somebody has been held to account like this, certainly from the Lords, and it will certainly be the first time that anybody from the Lords will have been removed because they're not elected, they're appointed. So, this is new ground for them as well, and I do appreciate that. But I think we all have to take a step back and reflect when somebody has behaved so badly, and when they continue to behave so badly and say such awful things in the press, that is it really appropriate to give them such a long time and so much leeway to behave like that? I don't think it sets a very good standard or record for a democratic institution.
And the understanding is that he needs to undergo some remedial training. Is that correct?
Yeah, coaching, I believe, on inclusivity. It's the training that was put in place early on for all members to go through, whether elected or unelected. I don't know the details of what he would be doing, but it would be, to help him get an understanding and an awareness of what's appropriate behaviour and why his behaviour is not. Whether it would make a difference, I don't know, but there has to be an opportunity for that. But he is refusing to engage with it.
How hopeful are you that there will be some culture change?
I mean, I feel, I suppose, somewhat ambivalent at the moment about it because there's still quite a period of time to go. I mean, I'm going to challenge, the decision because of his behaviour. I was willing to see what happened and see whether he engaged. But the fact that he's not only not engaging, but criticising and attacking the process, I think undermines the process and undermines those who are trying to apply it. But if he is removed from his position, then I think it will be a line in the sand to anybody who thinks that that's appropriate behaviour, that they will be removed from their role. As democratically elected representatives, if we behave badly or inappropriately, there are processes in place, including elections, where we can be voted out. But there has up until now been no process for members of the House of Lords. So that has just fuelled a culture of entitlement and privilege. Power is a gift, and it's something that we all, those of us in positions of power, have to handle very carefully and mindfully. And people like Lord Maginnis don't. They use it they have used it to abuse other people, which is just not okay.
That's SNP MP Hannah Bardell there. Drive Time contacted Lord Maginnis for a response, but he didn't answer us. Here's what he told the hearing of the Code of Conduct at Westminster after being asked would he be willing to take part in bespoke behaviour training. I do not know what this alleged training means to an 83-year-old. I did not realise it would be ongoing. I thought it would be a session somewhere, and would I take part in that? God knows I've been through enough training in my life one way or t'other. I do not need an extended period, nor was I alluding to that.